but they retain shape, color, and enough acuity to continue to read mundane texts. The knowledge they gain from the scroll is also tempered somewhat. It requires stages of meditation and reflection to fully appreciate and express what one saw. Group the fourth, illuminated understanding. Between the previous group and this one exists a continuum that has, at present, only been traversed by the monks of the ancestor moth. With continued readings, the monks become gradually more and more blind, but receive greater and more detailed knowledge. As they spend their waking hours pondering the revelations, they also receive a further degree of mental fortitude. There is, for every monk, a day of penultimate reading, when the only knowledge the Elder Scroll imparts is that the monk's next reading shall be his last. For each monk, the penultimate reading comes at a different and unknowable time. Preliminary work has been done to predict the occurrence by charting the severity of an individual monk's blindness, but all who reach these later stages report that the increasing blindness seems to taper with increased readings. Some pose the notion that some other unseen sense is, in fact, continuing to diminish at this upper range, but I shall leave such postulations to philosophers. To prepare for his ultimate reading, a monk typically withdraws to seclusion in order to reflect upon a lifetime of revelations and appoint his mind for reception of his last. Upon this final reading he is forever blinded, as surely as those unguarded ones who raced to knowledge. The illuminated one, though, has retained his understanding over a lifetime, and typically possesses a more integral notion of what has been revealed to him. It is hoped that this catalogue will prove useful to those who wish to further our mortal understanding of the Elder Scrolls. The moth priests remain aloof about these matters, taking the gradual debilitation that comes with reading as a point of pride. May this serve as a useful starting point for those hoping to take up such study. Dictated to Anstius Mechim, 4th of last seed in the 126th year of the Second Era. So that last piece suggests that the guy is going blind himself, probably because he's begun to study the scrolls. But that's a pretty clinical, and it seems it's an objective account of what happens when these at least when the ancestor moths and the general category of individual reads an Elder Scroll. So we may need, well, no, we won't be trying to read the scroll, so we probably won't need to hunt down the ancestor moths. But that's a pretty important piece of lore right there. Let's look at this second book, Ruminations. This looks like it'll be more subjective, more opinion, but let's find out. Oh. Started, discerning the trends mundane. Wow. Ask Ureg about the insane book. So this, wow, okay. So this book obviously is, when we read through it, will give us a clue to the location of an Elder Scroll, or maybe at least a hint. Ruminations on the Elder Scrolls by Septimus Cygnus, College of Winterhold. Yeah, for those of you who don't, are a little weary about the books, normally I don't read 2 in a row, but, he gave us both of these, so I need to read them. Okay, so this is by some mage from the college here, although, I don't know when it was written. Imagine living beneath the waves with a strong-sighted blessing of most excellent fabric. Holding the fabric over your gills, you would begin to breathe drink its warp and weft. Though the plant matter fibers imbue your soul, the wretched plankton would pollute the cloth until it stank to heavens of prophecy. This is one manner in which the scrolls first came to pass, but are we the sea, or the breather, or the fabric? Or are we the breath itself? Whoa, okay. Imagine living beneath the waves with a strong-sighted blessing of most excellent fabric. Wow, okay. So basically what he's saying is that there was an interaction of forces, one of which apparently is humanity, or at least sentient thought, which interweaved together, and the accretion of something on that interaction, this guy is saying, is one of the first ways that the scrolls, or one manner in which the scrolls first came to pass. Can we flow through the scrolls as knowledge flows through, being the water, or are we the stuck morass of sea filth that gathers on the edge? Yeah, who knows which part of this analogy we are? Imagine again, this time but different. A bird cresting the wind is lifted by a gust and downed by a stone. But the stone can come from above if the bird is upside down. Where then did the gust come from, and which direction? Did the gods send either, or has the bird decreed their presence by her own mind-making? The all-sight of the scrolls makes a turning of the mind such that relative positions are absolute in their primacy. That's a dense piece of text right there. So he's asking the question here. He's basically saying everything is a matter of perspective. But the all-sight of the scrolls makes a turning of the mind such that relative positions are absolute. In other words, those things which should be subjective can become objective, can become known facts in the all-sight of the scrolls. That's part of seeing the future, I think. Okay. I ask you again to imagine for me. This time you are beneath the... hold on. I ask you again to imagine for me. This time you are beneath the ground. A tiny acorn planted by some well-meaning elf maiden of the woodlands for her pleasure. You wish to grow, but fear what you may become, so you push off the water, the dirt, the sun to stay in your hole. But it is in the very pushing that you become a tree in spite of yourself. How did that happen? The acorn is a kind of tree, egg in this instance, and the knowledge is water and sun. We are the chicken inside the egg, but also the dirt. The knowledge from the scrolls is what we push against to become full-sighted ourselves. So the knowledge gained within the scrolls, again, we're a part of the interaction of forces that create that knowledge. He's saying, some of this is like there's a hidden self that knows things, that knows all of our secrets and can see the future. And when we read an Elder Scroll, we wake that self up. But maybe that self can't see the everyday, the ordinary day, because it's too mundane, it's too momentary. Maybe that's why people go blind when they gain this knowledge. One final imagining before your mind closes from the shock of ever knowing. You are now a flame burning bright blue within a vast emptiness. In time you see your brothers and sisters, burnings of their own in the distance and along your side. A sea of pinpoints, the constellation of memories. Each burns bright, then flickers. Then two more take its place, but not forever, lest the void fills with rancid light that sucks the thought. Each of our minds is actually the emptiness, and the learnings of the scrolls are the pinpoints. Without their stabbing light, my consciousness would be a vast nothingness, a knowing its emptiness as a void is unknowing of itself. But the burnings are dangerous, and must be carefully tended and minded and brought to themselves and spread to their siblings. He speaks in metaphor and simile. This one in particular is very difficult to decipher. Flame burning. Yeah, okay, I see what he's saying here. Okay. The person that you are right now is a momentary and fleeting person. One moment ago you were someone else, and a moment from now you'll be someone else. All these selves are gathered within your mind as memories, as flames of memory. I think that's what he's saying here. A sea of pinpoints, a constellation of memories. Each burns bright, then flickers. Some memories, burn bright, some eventually fade away. Then two more take its place. When you forget something, two more take its place, but not forever, lest the void fills with rancid light that sucks the thought. If you obsess on, something, that can make you sick in your head. Each of our minds is actually the emptiness, and the learnings of the scrolls are the pinpoints. Without their stabbing light, my consciousness would be as a vast nothingness. Unknowing its emptiness as a void is unknowing of itself. Yeah, a void can't, right, but the burnings are dangerous and must be carefully tended and minded, and brought to themselves and spread to their siblings. Wow, guys, that is a weird book. That's full of, metaphor, basically, and symbolism. It's you know, my interpretations, of course, are strictly mine. They may you have to draw your own conclusions, but that kind of book
about books and
really interesting to me, really fascinating.
All this
to try and
might
decipher
have
it.
been lost were it not for you.
Okay, so this Ruminations book you gave me is pretty dense. It's pretty hard to understand.
Aye, that's the work of Septimus Signus. He's the world's master of the nature of Elder Scrolls, but, well, he's been gone for a long while. Too long.
Where did he go?
Somewhere up north, in the ice fields. He said he found some old Dwemer artifact, but well, that was years ago. Haven't heard from him since.
Alright, so he's somewhere north, up near where we are right now. Yeah, Elder Knowledge. Oh no, wait, yeah. We have, okay, so this is our new quest here. Discerning the Transmundane. I've learned that Septimus Signus, a preeminent scholar of the Elder Scrolls, is currently living in the far north, studying a dwarven artifact. He might know where I can find an Elder Scroll for Parthenax. Alright. So guys, that was a pretty dense chunk of reading. But I think it was important to really understand what it is that we're after here, both what reading a scroll would do and who the author of this nut job book is. You know, he may not actually be crazy. It may be that his mind works differently from his pursuit of knowledge of the Elder Scrolls. So you know, everything's a matter of perspective in this game. But having plumbed through his book and tried to get some information, or at least try to discern what he was saying out of it, we may be more prepared to meet him. But unfortunately, everybody, that's going to have to wait for next time, because that is it for this time, everybody. That's an hour. Thanks for watching, everybody. For those of you who are not watching, you know, months and years in the future after I've become rich and famous, I am about to take a 10-day break here, going on vacation to visit family for a special event. So I will not be recording anything else for the next week and a half. But when I come back, excuse me, when I come back, we will continue here with Adarancel. Search out Septimus Signus and see if he can tell us where we can locate an Elder Scroll. But that is it for this time, everybody. So thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.